Have you ever felt trapped in a never-ending cycle of working hard, saving, and hoping for a future payoff that never seems to come? The truth is, this secure financial plan that so many of us follow might not be the path to freedom at all. It could be the very thing keeping us stuck. Let's take a closer look at how the system is built to benefit only a select few, while the rest of us keep working harder and waiting longer, only to see our dreams slip further away. The illusion of financial security. The majority of people today follow a well-known financial plan. Work hard at a job, save whatever you can, and invest for the long term. This plan promises that if you do everything right, you'll eventually retire rich and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But does it work? Or is it just a trap that keeps you stuck in the grind? Consider the typical story of a working couple. 1. Partner drives the family finances by focusing on savings, while the other sacrifices personal enjoyment in the name of being financially responsible. Together, they think they're following the right path. But after years of following this plan, they come to a painful realization: it's not enough. The endless cycle: work, save, repeat. Most people think that saving small amounts over decades will lead to a comfortable retirement. They're told that the magic of compound interest will eventually make them wealthy. But what happens in reality? Here's the catch. Saving can only work if you have a large starting amount, or if you're willing to make sacrifices that leave you feeling empty. Even if you manage to save $500 a month, invest it in the stock market, and hope for an average return, you might think you're on track. But in reality, many people don't save enough to make compound interest work in their favor. Take the example of a couple who follows this secure path for years. They live frugally, put away their savings, and invest them into stocks. But after several years, they realize their investments aren't growing as fast as they had hoped. Their financial future looks just as uncertain as it did when they first started. The market has been good for a few years, but it's still not enough to secure the dream they were promised. They're stuck in an endless cycle of working and saving, but it's leading to nowhere. In the end, this safe plan doesn't offer the rewards it was supposed to. People end up sacrificing their present for a future that doesn't live up to expectations. It's not a question of effort. It's a flawed system that leaves most people stuck in a financial prison. The hidden reality: the system benefits only the few. Behind this supposed secure financial plan lies a system that benefits the wealthy. The financial gurus who sell us this vision of wealth don't follow the same path. They didn't get rich by simply saving every penny. They built businesses, leveraged their networks, and created assets that generated income now, not decades later. In fact, many of the so-called financial experts didn't accumulate wealth by following the advice they give others. Instead, they built their own fortunes by leveraging the system that keeps the rest of us working for them. When was the last time a financial guru admitted that their wealth came from selling financial advice, rather than from saving diligently over time? The sad truth is that, for most people, the path of hard work, frugality, and saving for the long term doesn't lead to financial freedom. It leads to more work and more waiting, all for a future that may never come. A better way: creating wealth in the present. The key to escaping this cycle is realizing that true wealth doesn't come from working harder for decades or saving every cent in hopes of a big payoff down the road. Wealth comes from creating value now. Instead of living in the future, focusing solely on savings, we need to focus on building assets today. Entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Oprah Winfrey didn't get rich by pinching pennies and waiting 40 years to retire. They took risks, created businesses, and built assets that allowed them to enjoy their wealth while they were still young. They didn't wait. They acted. And that's the kind of approach that leads to real financial freedom. It's the same with smaller-scale entrepreneurs. Think of someone who builds an online business, invests in real estate, or creates a side hustle. They're not waiting for some distant retirement. They're actively generating income today, freeing themselves from the financial grind that most people are stuck in. Moving beyond the myth of delayed gratification. The idea of delayed gratification, that the key to wealth is sacrificing today for the promise of a better tomorrow, has been ingrained in us since childhood. But it's time to break free from this myth. True wealth isn't about waiting for a future payoff. It's about building and enjoying it in the present. Instead of focusing on frugality and long-term investments, focus on building streams of income today. Whether through entrepreneurship, real estate, or other scalable investments, you can start creating wealth now, rather than waiting for the next 20 or 30 years. Conclusion. Rethinking financial freedom. It's time to stop following the rules that keep us trapped in the secure cycle of work, save, repeat. It's time to realize that financial freedom comes from building wealth today, not waiting for some distant retirement. The so-called financial advice that's been handed down for generations doesn't work for most people. It only works for the wealthy who can afford to wait, but for the rest of us, it keeps us stuck in the same old grind. To truly break free from the financial prison, we need to rethink our approach to wealth. Stop focusing on saving and waiting. Start focusing on creating assets, building businesses, and generating income now. The sooner you take control of your financial future, the sooner you can escape the rat race and live life on your own terms.